Raise your hand if you have a social media account. Most of us. And raise your hand again if you have scrolled through images and compared yourself. Maybe sought reassurance on the way you look. Many of us. Thank you for your honesty. Comparing yourself and seeking reassurance is one of the most common safety-checking behaviours of someone suffering with body dysmorphic disorder. Have you heard of the metaphor for your mindset, in that you cannot control the waves, but you can control the oars of your own boat? Meaning that thoughts flow through your mind on a constant flow, but you can learn ways to master your thoughts. How in control of your thoughts are you? I'm Jem Gunn, and I'm a consultant psychotherapist and body image expert, and I'm seeking to campaign to raise awareness of this serious mental health condition within this digitally evolving world. Specifically, how it feels to have body dysmorphia, how we can identify this disordered thinking, and how you can help or influence others towards recovery. Let me take you back to 2014. I just checked into my room. I was on a wildlife reserve in India. It was late at night and swelteringly hot. You know, that clammy, humid heat. And my hair was sticking to my face and my clothes were clinging to my body. So I drew the curtains, took my clothes off, splashed my face with water, and lay on the bed. I could hear a sound of a faint buzzing of a mosquito darting around the room, which was attracted to the light outside. My mind began to wonder that the light might attract a tiger sauntering around the reserve. So I took a deep breath, and I went to the door, slowly, intrepidly opened it, checked both left and right, stepped out onto the porch, hit the switch, then shut the door, bolted it, and jumped into bed. In the morning, I woke to a knock on the door. It was my guide to take me to the welcome meeting. This is me outside my lodge, lucky number 7. In the main building, there was a large auditorium like this one, full of guests, and I made my way to the front and found a seat. And there was this man by a large projector screen, and he started to talk enthusiastically about their new technology, that they had night vision cameras strapped to various trees around the reserve, and he was about to show us the footage of last night's nocturnal activity from outside each lodge. In that moment, my body froze. I realized I had been completely naked on the porch. My mind went foggy, my cheeks began to blush, my throat went dry, my heart started pounding, my whole body was shaking and my hands went all clammy. The terror of public exposure. I watched as his mouse glided over lodge number 7 and continued on to lodge number 8. My video footage wasn't shown. But that fear of public exposure, of rejection, humiliation, and those physiological reactions of adrenaline rush, pounding heart, trembling hands, ready to fight, flight, or freeze. This is the feeling that body dysmorphia sufferers have most of the time. What's your India story? What would you do if you felt in that hyper-aroused state for most of the time? And if you sought reassurance, you just felt worse. Dysmorphia comes from the ancient Greek word, and it means a fear of being or becoming misshapen, deformed, or ugly. And it was first clinically described 132 years ago by psychiatrist Enrico Morselli. Back in 1891, based on his study of 78 client cases, he posited this wasn't a rare disorder. And yet, 132 years have gone by, and it is still hugely underdiagnosed and under-recognized. And yet it's more relevant and more prevalent today. Only a month and a half ago this year, the tabloid press reported of a young 30-year-old female working as a teaching assistant not too far from here that was suffering with body dysmorphia and died by suicide. It's really critical. It has one of the highest suicide rates of all mental health conditions, greater than depression or anxiety. So we should know much more about it. It can affect anyone, any age, race, gender, or socioeconomic status. Scientific research estimates 2% of the adult world population has body dysmorphia. That's 115 million adults. 2%. That's 1 in 50. Here in the audience today, you could be sitting next to someone with this disorder, or it could be your sister, your brother, your friend, your loved one. More research needs to be done, but it is thought that body dysmorphia has a multifactorial causation. So it could be childhood bullying, teasing, shaming, or abuse or maltreatment, or a family history of the disorder, or cultural factors, or societal pressure. So it's really hard to predict who and why some individuals will develop body dysmorphia. Now, when I came back from India, I returned to an abusive marriage. I didn't have the guts to leave him because we had 2 small girls. One day I found myself just walking into a women's refuge to volunteer, but I had become so fearful of everybody I couldn't do it. The manager gave me a knowing look and asked me into her office. "How are things at home?" she asked. And like someone switching on a tap for the very first time, my true thoughts flowed out like unstoppable water. "You need to get yourself a solicitor and get yourself a therapist," she said. And for that advice, I'm entirely grateful. And with that, I found myself a brilliant therapist. And it was during one session that I had my light bulb moment. That for most of my life, I had felt inferior and rejected due to my appearance. And this was more to do with my mindset. It was to do with my self-perception of self and had little to do with my actual external physical appearance. And I had the power to alter my mindset. I later joined a body dysmorphia support group where I felt understood for the first time in my life. I left that abusive marriage. I got residence of my children, and I retrained as a consultant psychotherapist. And I developed the BPC method for body dysmorphia, and it uses a combination of psychotherapy to address the past, behavioral therapy to address the here and now, and coaching to address the future. And I teach this BPC method to large groups on a regular basis. Right, let me invite you to answer a question. Do you know what the top 5 phobias are? Spiders? Sharks? Anyone else? Claustrophobia? Thank you. According to Push Doctor and YouGov, glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, is the 2nd highest phobia of all. So public speaking, greater than flying, spiders, crowds. So imagine someone living with body dysmorphia standing here today to present a talk that is not only photographed, but videoed and posted online. Despite those familiar feelings of that time in India, I have body dysmorphia, and I am living evidence that it is a recoverable condition with the right treatment and support. Who in your life needs your support, and what can you do to help? Now, what is it they need right now? Could you offer them a listening ear to help them feel understood? Could you help them create a self-management plan or curate their social media to less triggering sites? Could you help them find tailored therapy or go to their doctors for medication? Engagement. Could you help them join a structured support group so they can feel understood and validated? It can be an online support group so you can attend with your cameras off. Wider awareness. 132 years have gone by, and we now have the technological advances to connect worldwide. Using this, can you think of ways to better inform schools, universities, doctors, hospitals, to better understand this serious mental health condition that is both treatable and recoverable? Before I was a therapist, I used to work in digital transformation, and I remember a time when my colleague wrote down some notes on her paper pad and then looked at it and swiped left to delete it on a paper pad. So we need to allow ourselves time to adapt to this ever-evolving world. And wouldn't you agree, post-pandemic, there's an expectation to be visible all the time. Most of our study or work life is spent on video conferencing. In our leisure time, we're on social networks where there's an expectation to take a picture or a video of ourselves. If you meet up with a friend, you know somebody is going to take a photo and post it somewhere. And we have photo editing and filter apps to present the best version of reality. It's our new normal. But if you had deep anxiety about your appearance and you were trying to live in this new normal of life online, it can be really hard. So it might be easier to avoid online interaction or to withdraw socially or even to push people away. Social networking is about social connectedness, and we seek public acceptance. And yet body dysmorphia is often misunderstood as vanity and minimized by unhelpful comments such as, just pull yourself together and get over it, or just come off social media. Many of my clients will take an average of about 5 months, that's about 22 sessions, before they feel able to turn their camera on and be seen online. Have you ever tried to give up something as a New Year's resolution, only by willpower alone to know it's not enough? Well, for body dysmorphia sufferers, trying to stop those intrusive thoughts or compulsions by willpower alone is extremely hard. And wouldn't you agree, the more you try to stop a thought, the more it comes thick and fast against you. So if you weren't informed about the symptoms of body dysmorphia and you just felt really awful about your appearance, you might be more likely to seek to correct your imperfections by going to see a cosmetic surgeon or cosmetic dentist or dermatologist than a psychiatrist or psychotherapist. Body dysmorphia begins in late teens, and it's sometimes misdiagnosed as something else, like OCD or social anxiety or an eating disorder. Scientific research suggests that it can take up to 15 years later before somebody goes to see a therapist. Many of my clients are in their late 30s and early 40s. Something mistaken as vanity can start to have serious implications. People with body dysmorphia have a higher chance of unemployment, divorce, substance misuse, a higher chance of suicidal thoughts, self-harm, eating disorders, or other implications due to those repeated surgical interventions. As with all mental health conditions, it would be so much easier if it was visible, like a broken arm in a cast. So if we can't see it, how are you going to recognize if someone you know is suffering in silence? Well, distressing thoughts and feelings can affect a compulsion towards maladaptive coping behaviors. The sufferer might get stuck in a cycle of an intrusive thought, creating a distressing feeling, creating a compulsion to carry out a safety-checking behavior. So I devised this acronym to help describe the repetitive behaviors as a result of those intrusive thoughts. And I'd like you to think of someone you know who carries out these actions repeatedly or might use some of this language. Mirror checking. Oh, I'm so repulsive. I need to check in my pocket mirror. Oh, my skin is awful. Let me check again. My nose is all wrong. Oh, everyone's going to think I'm so vain I keep looking in the mirror, but that's not how I feel. I feel so ugly. No one's going to understand. Or, I'm just going to avoid mirrors altogether. I'm so repulsive. I'm just going to avoid them. Inability to feel assured. Look at these perfect images, and I just feel so rubbish in comparison. I point out all my flaws to my partner, but they just say I'm lovely. They can't see what I see. I know I'm grotesque. They just don't understand. I don't know why they're with me. They're probably going to leave me with someone way better. No photos. I'm so gross. I don't want any photos of me. I don't want any permanent memory of me. I don't want to be in that group photo. I'm so ugly, I'll ruin the entire photo. Or, I'm not going to post a selfie because people are going to comment how disgusting I am. Or, I'm going to take 100 photos and filter them and edit them, and maybe one will be okay. Disguising self. I'm so vile. I don't want to draw any attention to myself. I want to keep my body language small and shy away, and I'm not going to make eye contact. Or I want to hide my face, maybe a thick fringe and heavy makeup, or glasses, or a scarf. My body's so disgusting, I'm going to wear dark and baggy clothes and try and blend in with everybody else. Social withdrawal. I'm just too fat and ugly to meet up with anybody. People are going to look at me when I go out. I feel safer at home. I just can't face that birthday party, that wedding, that funeral. I know I'm avoiding all these significant life events, and I feel so lonely, but I just can't do it. Excessive grooming. I need to pick at my skin. I need to pluck my hairs. I need to do my hair just so. I need to do my tanning or skin lightening. I need to perfect my makeup. I know it takes me hours, but if you stop me, I'll just get irritable or upset. Traits, such as perfectionism, excessive list-making, hoarding, or procrastination. I just feel so worthless. Maybe if I try harder and please others, maybe I'll feel lovable. Do you resonate with the BDD mindset or recognize someone with these traits? We have looked at how it feels to have body dysmorphia, how you can identify this disordered thinking, and how you can help others towards recovery. With a new mindset, recovery is possible. Thinking of that hotel room in India reminds me of the quote by the Dalai Lama: "If you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito." Thank you.